boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Copy link. Oh shit. Let's see. Shoot. Check it, check, check. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. Just getting ish together. There. And let me put the info in the Discord. Cancel. And go here and shift home. There we are. Don't give me one moment, y'all. Still getting things set up here. All right. Let me go back to this page. Make sure we're good to go. Excelente. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Toxic Hustle. Welcome to Toxic Thoughts 57. 57 of these already. Jeez. Today's talk is going to be on the metaverse. There's a lot of talk about what the metaverse is. I'm not going to do a long one tonight because I want to talk about this because I'm looking into it deeply and I want y'all to begin to start asking certain questions and start looking at certain scenarios, at least when we're looking at the physical, right? Because the the world we're currently living in is in a bit of a pivot right now. We are dealing with a lot of things, a whole lot of stuff, right? So, from the last talk where I talked about transactions equal credits, where we're talking about businesses, I talk from a business perspective. The, the thought behind Toxic Thoughts is you being able to see what I see when I see it, because I'm making these business decisions now. I'm not making them. That's not me making opinions that I'm not putting practicality towards. My goals right now are practicality, especially financial practicality, because we do have to deal with the fact that we are in an inflation situation. Then we're also in on the cliff of some teetering of a financial or stock pullback, right? So we're in the cash lane. Musical Geniuses Discord, link in the description. I've been kind of posting things as I see them. This weekend, I did a lot of economics research, a lot of financial research. I want to see I wanted to see more of what was going on physically in China, because for now everybody's got China being the big bad boogeyman, and while that narrative can be seen that way, there's also the fact that China has its own situation and issues right now. And we're going to get into those in a minute. And like I said, we're going to get into the metaverse. But I will not, like I said, I won't be on long. This is going to be really short because what I want you to do is actually start doing your own due diligence on this. Because, the next couple of days, I am in the midst of doing some last heavy development work so I can finish off some projects, because the way that they're manipulating this market, they have been able to suppress it hardcore. So there's a lot of cash for them to do that, and I'm going to show you that they're buying up the dip. But what we're dealing with is I put a video out in the Discord, Musical Geniuses Discord, link in the description. I put a link to this 60 minutes expose on ghost cities, right? China's ghost cities. Now, I've also done some research, and I have to find the video, but there's video of China demolishing somewhere in the line of 7 or 12 buildings, right? Let me see if I can pull it up really fast. Let's see. Let's see. New YouTube, right? And then look for demolition. Here it is. 15 buildings in China get demolished simultaneously. Now, what I need y'all to understand, these buildings were vacant for years. And that is crazy. Right? I want to see if I can find news on this. Hold on. China. See. 15 skyscrapers. Here we go. See? Taiwan added that these built. Jeez. Crap in my way. I hate these damn websites. I swear I'd be glad when these sites get destroyed by the blockchain and we ain't got to deal with all these damn ads. But basically, these buildings were part of unfinished Liangstar City Phase 2 project and was about 1 billion Chinese yuan worth of property initiated in 2011. Right? So this is after the 2008 situation. The housing project met with many hurdles over the year and saw frequent interruptions even after ownership change. After the government intervention, the project did not resume until late year but couldn't be completed. So these are buildings that could not be completed. Right? These are buildings that could not be completed. 15 buildings just demolished. Brand new buildings that could not be done, and you just destroyed them. All this money, billions of dollars, wasted. Wasted. The materials, the investment. How many of these are in your hedge funds, your IRAs? See, nobody wants to deal with that right now. We want to deal with Bitcoin scares us. And don't get me wrong, Bitcoin's scary, especially when you see what's going on with the price right now, right? So the price took an 11% for 2%, 7 days, 2%. Let me see, hold on, 3% for the week. So Bitcoin took, in the 7 days, Bitcoin is taking a 3% crapper in 7 days, which in Bitcoin terms, that's not that bad. And number two, which I'm, like I said, this is manipulation. But what's going on is, again, China's turning off stuff again. Again, this is China. FUD all over again. Right? So they turned off the miners, but those miners are already being moved, and it's not as much. So you can see we don't have a major drop. And as we had a drop, we had somebody turn on. We have a drop, we have somebody turn on. So what's happening is these things are shifting fast. These contingencies were already happening. And they are going to turn these machines on slow because they know, the miners know, that they can manipulate this market. China's just helping because China's helping the narrative because China's shutting down stuff. So what's going on right now is China has turned off things like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. So the places where, like CoinGecko, where I can see this information, is now turned off in China. So it's freaking out the markets. Now I always tell you, you're looking for this, right? As long as the narrative for Bitcoin is, so long as it's consuming energy and that energy consumption's going up, the narrative is that people are still mining it. Bitcoin's fundamentals still hold. 21 million Bitcoin, 18.5 million is already out. 6 million is locked in wallets that will never be unlocked. Over 6 million, right? 900 Bitcoins mined a day. The last Bitcoin will be mined in 2140, which is 118 to 119 years from now. Gold can come out of the ground, fall out of the sky, come up with a new way to manufacture it, or they'll press it out, or they'll figure a way. They manipulate everything. Now, can Bitcoin be manipulated? Of course it can. It's being manipulated now, but it can't be manipulated in the quantity of it. We can't have new Bitcoin just manifest magic moneyly inside this economy. Unlike our current economy, where they are printing money and will continue to print money. Now, I've told y'all, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because I don't want people freaking the hell out. Like I told you, this week is supposed to be an up week. It's supposed to be a pump week. I'm still waiting for the pump to happen. I told you within 3 windows, we've been hitting the strikes every single time. So we hit it, we hit it, we hit it. Even though this one came early. See, sometimes it comes early. So this one came early. Even though we called it here that this was going to be the pump came early. Could that have shifted the pump? May have. But I also realized we ain't all the way back down here. That it's fighting for midway around here, which is right at the cusp of this line over here, which is really like a new line is being formed, like a new weekly is being formed here, which just makes this area right here a level of support if it fights through it. Right now, I think that the market wants that to be one more level of support, so that once they have that last little bit that says, yeah, we can keep this going, we're not going to go past this, it does that ricochet and springs up. I can only go from some of the things I've seen in the past with Bitcoin, and the fact that I know that the market's being manipulated, and the fact that I know that these multi-million billionaires, million and billionaires are pulling, or hold on, what's the day? September. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to get my calendar set properly so that you can see this. So, as you see, it's just been a very consorted, staggered drop down. These cogwheels, right? Scooping up and buying up, and then here, bought when everything went down, and then considered going and pulled it back down. So it's consorted effort at this level to continually pull the market back down consistently. That was the word I wanted, like continually and consistently. But it's just a game. So to them, at least, not to me. You know, my thing is that they're trying to shake out that last little bit. We've got 2 pumps, this here and this here. This is the November pump, and then there's this one. So they can keep playing this game, but there is still a limited quantity of Bitcoin on exchanges, period, point blank. So they can only keep playing this game for so long, right? So I'm not going to be dealing with that too tough. We already know what it is. Like I was telling you, there's a lot going on. There's some, there's this cat, Jack Marlowe. He's created something it's one of the reasons why what he's created, which is Strike, is one of the reasons why El Salvador is doing transactions on with Bitcoin and why they went with Bitcoin and why Twitter just launched with Bitcoin. This guy right here is making that happen. What I always tell you is that keep an eye on these young people who do not give a damn how the old guard feels about crap. But I also understand that you also know that the only reason he's getting to do all the things he's doing is because he has to be a plant of some kind, right? And he is. Father, grandfather. Grandfather was one of the first people to run one of the mercantile exchanges, and his father was somebody that um, was on the stock market, had his own hedge fund, right? So he's playing in the money a different way, but he's from an old line of playing with corporate structures and stocks. So as you see this transition, which is the fact that banks are losing their reason to be at this point. There was a time when you needed to go to a bank to be able to do transactions. I realized back in 2005, 2006, actually 2006, 2007. I realized with PayPal's launch of debit cards, I didn't need a bank because they weren't banking me. That whole 2008 thing happened, and they weren't trying to bank anybody that didn't have a job. But PayPal, you didn't have to worry about that, and we were getting transactions, and I could cash out and swipe out and eat. Right, so I always look at that port of entry, exit strategy. Right, what's your enter strategy? What's your exit strategy? In anything that you're dealing with business, finances, whatever, commerce, investments. What's my enter strategy? I want to buy low. I want to be at an accumulation point. What's my exit strategy? I want to go to USDC. Now, I'm not trying to call the top, but I'll call the season. By November, by the third to fourth week of November, I will be out of the market, period. Doesn't matter where it is, where it's going to be, how it is. I'm going to be out of the market in the last week of November. To me, the cycle's over. So if they keep manipulating this the way it is and keep pulling it down, look, they're playing with Bitcoin cycle, but they will not be able to keep doing that through the next cycle and the next cycle. Plus, Bitcoin will start to lose its effect on the rest of the markets as we move into play to earn gaming, NFTs that have other utility besides the fact that they're just an image. Like, they don't have no utility, right? They're just an image. A lot of these NFTs that don't do anything aren't going to matter. Just the fact that, oh, I have the same NFT that Snoop Dogg had, right? Which JT Nice was talking about that here with Snoop Dogg. The fact that he's supposed to be some large NFT holder, which for me, it doesn't matter when these NFTs don't do anything. Gaming NFTs will make way more sense. Way more sense. I was just telling, somebody was asking me about how I trade. When I do my trades, I trade in USDC or USDT. Now, I am going to be phasing back off of USDT due in part to potential contagion of China's real estate market being locked inside Tether. So once, again, this cycle is over, I will be not only moving my positions out of a lot of cryptocurrencies, just so, hey, they may not survive this next crypto winter. And if y'all don't know what crypto winter is the time that Bitcoin goes extremely, extremely boring. We had that pump in 2017 and we went over. You know what? I want to look at something really fast. I want to look at the last halving cycle. I actually want to look at what happened. We had this little dip over here, and I want to see See, it's playing a little bit different. This is November, September 18th. See, by September 25th and October, we were back on a pump. No dips in that zone. It just kept cycling up. China's been able to, but they're scrapping their entire crypto market. They're scrapping their entire Bitcoin network. So that's what's affecting the flow. Like this should be right now in severe pump mode, but it's being pulled down. So, but again, I have another pump signal here. So regardless, I'm not even going to watch this or worry about this. I'm going to let it ride out. I feel like this is still going to pump and still go up here. I think this China manipulation is the only thing suppressing Bitcoin. Also, what could be happening, a lot of the sell-off isn't because Bitcoin is not good, Bitcoin is bad. It's because people are getting called. All right, so something that I was talking about in the Discord, and it's coming up now. Oh, automation in the Discord. These are bots that do farming, so this is potentially going to replace farmers. So again, I'm showing you how the analog is disappearing on you, on us, right? Also, I said be careful out in these streets because they're going into Beverly Hills and went into safety deposit boxes inside banks, and the FBI went in there and just started taking precious metals again. So just be aware of where you're keeping your assets. You can't trust banks as well, right? Also, work shortage. These restaurants are now getting these robots to bring food out to tables. That's going to be a wrap for the need for the front of the house. You're not going to bring staff back. As these robots get smarter and better, and as these restaurants can have consistency and not worrying about, can I get food out, that this is going to make the restaurant business stable again, right? We'll get to a stability point, but right now we're hemorrhaging workers. We're getting out of the analog manual labor. It's a wrap on that, y'all. Right now, it don't make sense inside a building to drive and commute to another computer. Why are we commuting to computers? Wasting gas to go to a computer where some people's internet in their house are faster than the Wi-Fi's they've got at their offices. Right? So we've got to deal with that. Another thing that's happening, and this is stuff that you can look into yourself, and again, I need y'all to see it for yourselves because I'm not here to give you hopium. I'm not here to spread hope. I'm here to tell you what I'm doing for ToxicHustle as a media company. I believe all businesses have to become media companies because the gross national product of every country is going to be media assets, period. Media is going to be the gross national product because what else are we going to do besides be programmers until robots program themselves? Right? So one of the things that's going to change is where we spend time. What's going to happen when you realize, I've already realized this. That's why I don't do social media for the most part. The only reason I'm doing Twitter now is because it'll make sense. With their additional add-on to Bitcoin, I can create a sub-wallet that's not attached to anything of a substantial of substance, none of my main wallets. Pop that wallet on Twitter and earn. The only thing is, remember, Twitter is still a centralization point. They're still centralized. So never forget that Twitter is centralized and you can be banned and you can, of course, be censored there. So they're not censorship resistant. I would not rely on them to be your transaction vehicle, but just understand that it's going to come that every site will be acting like Twitter and paying. So that brings up this article that I put out here as to when people realize with these networks, these social networks, or really just new media networks, if these new media networks aren't paying you and somebody else is paying you, another network is giving you money, and you have more ways to earn on their platforms, like NFTs and all this other stuff, When all of that starts coming in, these people can monetize their own beings. And a company just gets a cut because they're part of the coin and the economy. How many people are going to start exodusing all of these other platforms? Y'all don't understand. There's going to be a centralized exodus that comes hard as a storm, right? So on here, this kid said the same thing. Was basically talking about, and this is again Jack Mallers. This is the one that created Strike. This is the one that got El Salvador as well as Twitter on the block on Bitcoin, right? So it's watching, like, he's calling out Western Union, cocky, but you got to understand that these old services, he just, like in this video, he sends a transaction to El Salvador at a Starbucks to buy a cup of coffee, and it got sent instantaneously. These people don't have to. You got to think about third world nations. As a third world nation, they don't have to get in their car or take public transportation, go all the way across town, have to spend money to get there, go into some place where they're going to take a cut. You could be robbed on the way home, so you got to think about that. You could be, and then you got to take another vehicle, bus, whatever, go all, like, they lose hours just trying to send money back home or get money or do business. This begins to destroy that narrative. We've got to understand that third world countries are the base layer of how all countries that were First Nations are slowly deteriorating down to. The cost of living, we don't make enough. And nobody's going to keep up. Like right now, people are getting, like, to flip burgers, they're getting anywhere between, some places 18, 19, $20 an hour. How sustainable you think that is? When is that gonna have to roll down to the burger, to the price, to the customer, right? And you can't afford to do that because the customer expects a certain thing. What you're gonna say, well, now all of a sudden we don't have a dollar menu, we have this other thing. Now they've got to make a decision. They've got to make a structural decision. And what the decision is going to be isn't going to be raise the price. It's going to be lower the workforce, reduce the cost of doing business, optimize. And that's what every place is doing now. And China, more so, is in a strategic optimization play. They're chucking everything and going back to the basics. They're even in their citizenship, and this is stuff that I've been learning, they've even begun backing down on schools and private. I showed that in the video that they're slamming schools. They're slamming private education because they want the young people back into manufacturing internally. They want them back to piecing things together manually and doing that temporarily while they ride this out. Like I said, everyone wants China to be the big boogeyman that's getting ready to crush us, but China's falling apart. But they're not the only country falling apart, and that's why I'm still looking for the boogeyman. And all the while all of these economies are collapsing, I'm watching something very simple happen. Automation makes life easy. The technology from 10 years ago gets so refined and optimized that it's no longer expensive to maintain, or somebody creates some kind of open source version of it and it comes down a notch and it goes to everybody, which then reduces costs, reduces expenses, reduces everything. Right now, we're seeing inside the food industry, we're going to be automating. Right now, we're worried about trucking firms not getting paid. Literally, there are trucking firms not getting. I'm going to put some of that information out in the Discord. But literally, there's trucking firms not getting paid. there's major companies that have gone bankrupt, and truckers are still on the road dropping off freight, and then waiting to put their invoices in, or they're putting their invoices in when they're finished, and they're not getting paid. The phones are off. When I say that the analog is drying up, I'm looking for somebody other than what I'm saying. If what I'm saying seems way out of pocket, okay, give me something better. Prove me wrong. Give me something better. I'm telling you right now, digital. Nobody's gonna commute. I run a business. Do you think I want an office building where I gotta pay the rent, the all the maintenance and all that stuff to a building, then have all of us drive down someplace, go an hour in traffic, going back and forth to a single locations for you to get back on a computer or stay on the laptop I give you. And then, so basically, we're commuting to do what? Get on the same damn internet? Now, as a business, I could then just say, look, I need you to have broadband. I'll pay you more, but I want proof that you have broadband in your house. Proof of bandwidth, right? Proof of bandwidth speed. Something as simple as that. And now you can justify having your workers be wherever, because all you need is to say, I need content. This is the content I need. This is how I need it. This is what needs to be done. Right now, even going to like Fiverr, I'm telling friends of mine, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a designer. I'm gonna be a designer. I was like, go to Fiverr.com and go look at the prices. It's $5 an hour. Are you willing to do that? Are you okay working $5 an hour to do a website, and it's still gonna take you X amount of days to do? And they want it for $5 for the whole damn website, or you've got to come up with some fancy stuff to get it done. But you better have the reviews for it, or you're starting on the low ball, or you better own something. What's your product? What's your service? What's your subscription? If you don't have a service, because service might be oversaturated, then you need to focus on product and subscription. So right now in China, Beijing wants to make it clear that the yuan is the only legitimate currency. What have I been telling you? Reason why China's cracking down is because this entire thing now, this new world, don't care about your labor. This new world wants transactions per second. And how many transactions? Me in like a business encoding video and having it upload to a social media platform via an automated system of some kind, and that automated system did the work on behalf of some centralized whatever. Now that becomes a platform as a service or a system as a service, and everybody can get paid. Now, if you connect that to something similar to a blockchain, what do you have? You have an automated workforce with computers distributed across the entire world that can work doing anything that these major companies are doing. Tell them to shut the hell up. What jobs do they create? And they ain't creating nothing. Like, it's a wrap for them. Like, that's how I'm not even trying to be cocky or arrogant. That's just how, like you know, when they saw the man behind the curtain from like Alice in Wonderland. Hello, hold on, man. Don't tell me it did this today. Really, really, right now, right now. Check. Okay, cool. And Alice in Wonderland, when you see like they were talking about the man behind the curtain, right? And then all of a sudden he looked like a sucker to you. Once you see, you know, when that power was gone, all that loud yelling and screaming was gone. Like right now, they got their own problems, y'all. They've got their own problems. So they want the EU one. They're shaking up everything. They don't have the labor force. Their labor force is educated, but now they're telling them, well, you're not worth what we paid all this education for. Buildings are falling to the ground. Roads are collapsing. Entire dams are shutting down. That's why I said, no. They got their own problem. We not it right now. It's a whole bunch of posturing. A whole bunch of puffing up their chest like one of them damn birds. Puffing up their damn chest, showing their feathers, and flossing. They just trying to act big and bad, but get chopped up by an alligator. And their economy is the alligator. Like, it ain't us. They getting ate up by their own economy. Why did China want to wanted crypto out? China power grid is having an issue. Their grids are collapsing. All right. This article I put here, when everybody tells me Ethereum, I like Ethereum. But somebody paid for $1,400 in gas fees and didn't even get the product. Right? So I'm saying all of this to say that I'm watching this economy extremely closely. And the one thing that we see here, this is 2000. We see a drop, pop, pop, drop, right? I use this one, and I use this one, and I'm using this. So I'm wanting, because we already peaked. We saw it peaked. It peaked here. We went higher than it before. You know, we weren't all the way here. But what this is how much greed is in the market as far as margins. How much margins? People take in margin, or what they basically credit to buy stocks, y'all. Credit on stocks. Credit on stocks when the whole market's going up, great. Credit on stocks when the market is teetering on the brink of collapse, stupido. Just like right now, think about you. You personally, you right now, would you, knowing you don't have a job, you ain't got no money coming in, would you go ahead and put more credit on there and go to the gambling casino knowing full well the gambling casino is going to take your money? If your answer is yes, then please buy some land in Florida swamp that I promised you is going to be fully paved with gold. No, you're not going to do that. And right now, these people are out. They're getting out. But I want you to see something. Look where we are. This is about halfway, right? This is about where things settle. So you notice, boom, you come down here, there's bounces, there's settling. Then they can get a little bit, it may drop. Depending on how bad the drop is, it could go further. I'm just putting it in a midway point. Like where we had, maybe it can stop here. Now, I mean, if it goes further, it goes further. But we're not even halfway to this point, if the best scenario. The worst scenario is this goes down and this halfway point goes down and we're farther away from it dropping. Why is this important? Is because if this is the free fall that's happening, they can't print any more money, y'all. Nobody's going to give them any more credit to buy more bad stocks. It's a wrap. It's coming down. They're going to have to come out of their positions. Assets are going to be sold off. Stocks, bonds, mutual, gold. Let's check gold. Let's just do that. New. Gold price. Gold's down. 30 days is down. Look how much is down in 30 days. I mean, it was up for the last 6 months, but for the year, it's down how much? Right? So gold isn't holding because people are going to have to liquidate their positions, y'all. Y'all think it's a safe thing, and it is. Until it isn't. Until it has to be used to pay off debts. And debts are going to continue to get called. Remember, we're not even all the way there yet. So right now, yeah, people probably have to sell off some Bitcoin right now to pad out what's going on with the markets. Are we going to... DAOs can't operate in the wild. Hold on, I want to check out one more thing in China. All I'm going to do is put China. Right, and then just go news, and then just see what has happened. Give me 1 second. In the past 24 hours. Oh, no, I don't want this. Blocking the sales of U.S. planes. Evergrande struggle offers a glimpse of new financial future. Oh yeah, they're owning all these buildings. State-backed China power. Right. Let's look at their power. POWER. China's power crunch threatens the more global supply chain chaos. Okay, so now they're talking about one of the things in the news. The reason why I do this is because it triggers things that I've seen, and I want to make sure I'm telling you the things I remember because I'm doing a lot of reading, and I don't have time to like make pretty presentations like a lot of people out here. I'm just giving to you while I see it and how I remember it. China's growing power crunch right now. China has blackouts going on all over, and one of those things, one of the major things that's happening is their actual power buildings, the buildings themselves, are breaking down. So they've been the because of how all these things have been built up so fast and so tight budget, no, corruption on all levels, y'all. That's why I said 15 buildings I just showed you got demolished. Billions of dollars have been wasted, and I don't get it. Like, heads would be rolling. But in this situation, the people don't know, right? They can't see all of these things. And then, of course, when the all media is controlled, but the way that they control their media, it's top down. Right now, the information can slide through because information in our society can come from all directions. So you've got to think about what's going down with that and the ports themselves, right? Because we have port problems in the news. I think we're up to 65 on the West Coast that are backed up. It was 65 or 70. And operations are not 24/7. Operations are intermittent, and you need it to be running at 24/7 to just keep up. So we're having a supply crunch. We're having an energy crunch. We're having an infrastructure crunch. And these are all in China leading here to America. And now with all of that, they're talking about Christmas not having enough items for holidays, which at this point we shouldn't be spending right now anyway. So what am I doing? Reason why I'm telling you all of this stuff, because I do want to tell you what we're doing as a company. Again, I'm not dealing with the news. I know that there's manipulation, and I know a lot of the China news came right when they needed to, and all of this has been China and Elon FUD. And they're going to keep pulling that until they can't pull it no more. But this week, because we haven't fallen all the way through these floors and we're already in a pump zone, they, like I said, within 3. This came early. This one seemingly coming late, but I always say it's within 3. I'm thinking that we're still going to end up getting our green week by the end of the week. I'll be waiting. We got till Saturday. So I want to see what they can do. I told you this is it. This is when we've got another pump here. This is it. So they can only hold on for so long and keep playing for so long before it springs out. But I'm going to try to catch some before the spring up. I'm going to try to catch, because we're getting to a point where this is still a sweet buy spot. Even just to catch the upside to even from here to here, if we only get here this cycle. We may have to trim back for how they were able to manipulate this cycle and say that we can't get past 50 something, which would really suck. But I'm not gonna play that. I'm gonna play that we potentially get to 75. I would love us to still hit on a serious pump by now. Have not had that because China's been able to manipulate, but we've had this Evergrande crisis. We have a lot of options being called in. We have a lot of people having to call in their assets. So this is really, we're seeing a sell-off because people have to get capital. Capitalization is coming, and this is what's happening. And it's happening pretty at the wrong time, but at the right time. But it's for the wrong reason. It's not because Bitcoin has lost any of its fundamentals. It's only because people need it to pay for the over leveraging they've done on the market. Plain and simple. What I'm gonna do is show you right here. There's a video here. I watched this guy Jay Bravo. Keep an eye on what he's talking about. Same here with the money GPS. These are just things that you can keep an eye on and keep a lookout. These guys talk about it a lot, and it can give you some perspective. I also say here, when I say I'm shifting my business towards the virtual digital media as being a virtual digital media company, this show Alter Ego came out. This is basically the format. Artists are going to be avatars, and those avatars will live in virtual worlds, and those virtual worlds will have virtual sets. You can do virtual concerts, virtual clubs. So I put all of that stuff here, and basically saying that what you're dealing with is, like, instead of an artist, you're dealing with an avatar. So then that avatar can be the DJ, the influencer, the artist, the singer, a club, an event, a concert, or a show. Anything of the above can be an avatar, a digital representation. So you can have all of these digital representations in world, and then in world you can have an in-world currency, and that in-world currency should be convertible to whatever you need to be able to get back onto the exchange and get back to USDC. So long as you have USDC, you swipe a card, you go eat. Exit strategy, right? So work equaling, so earning equaling eat, or being able to spend, right? So that's what I want you to see your opportunities for earning. Current put this out, which is talking about people wearing digital fashion. That's interesting. I was like, I refuse to wear some bubble crap that might look good in a virtual world but looks crazy in the physical. Makes no sense unless you want to do, unless you're doing cosplay, right? So you can make like cosplay stuff, and those cosplays outfits could be utilized by cosplayers who, you could think about doing an NFT that links to a cosplay costume, right? So if you're a costume designer, couldn't you now make an NFT that could mint you cosplay uniforms that could be virtual as well as physical? I mean, I'm thinking off the fly with that. And that's for somebody that's interested in doing costume design, right? So when you're looking at this, I was saying I could make an NFT to go to print on demand, print it on basically print an all over print shirt, and then mint, put it, you can stake it in your wallet and mint yourself a shirt. Let's see. Sirius could put something up on Bloomberg, and this is me putting out today's stream. All right, so y'all, because I'm going to keep it at 50 minutes since I started a little late. But go in the Discord, you can kind of see what's going on. If you have any questions, you can always hit me there. I'm always in the Cash Lane Room, Musical Genius Discord, link in the description. Make sure you smash the like button to make sure we can get this information to as much people as possible. Like right now, this transition is going to kind of mess with people's heads. And I need you to understand this virtual economy and why it's necessary. And the mind state you need to think about is just pivoting. Analog is drying up. There's problems with logistics. There's problems with staffing. Move away from all of the bottlenecks or points of failure and try to find something that has the least points of failure. Right? So for me, if I try to do a bunch of analog stuff, I have a lot of points of failure. Shipping, manufacturing, staffing, all of that. If I have something that I can do online that can sell recurringly, now I have consistency. I may only need extra marketing, right? So what could you sell? You can sell information about some skill set that you innately are good at, and do that. Do that. Right? I make beats, right? I put that out. I get those beats out to multiple people. Now, I could try to sell it to a bunch of artists, or I could sell it to avatars. I'm going to sell it to avatars who could potentially be NFTs, who could potentially be cartoons, who could potentially be in-game fighting objects. My music could navigate and circumnavigate games and get me more exposure on Spotify simply with Shazam, right? Somebody could be playing a game like, oh, let me Shazam this real quick. Boom, they Shazam it, and boom, my Spotify gets extra plays. So with my Spotify being low right now, and I'm telling y'all for financials, if you're doing music, stop going to these unlimited places that talk about they're giving you unlimited uploads for your music. You're paying somehow. How are you paying? Ask yourself a question. Are all of your YouTube streams also free? Or do you pay extra per song per YouTube, that per song that you have to put on YouTube? Right? So if you have to do that, then it's costing you. And if you have to pay that every single year, it's costing you. I pay CD Baby one time. I don't work for them. I don't get any affiliate money for telling you this crap. I'm telling you because I would like you to have long-term residuals. And to do that, CD Baby will give you, when you put your music up on CD Baby, they will pay you the royalties to TikTok, to YouTube, to all of that. Then you could even try Audius and go onto Audius and use that. That's a blockchain app that's going in, that's trying to be a competitor to Spotify. I'm going to be looking deeper into that when this market crashes down a little bit more. Probably after November, December, when the market decides to make that turn back down. Or if the market keeps being suppressed in the next 2 to 3 days, I'm going to grab some. But just understand that mentally, analog makes no damn sense. The digital portions of the business are, hey, what kind of media do you have? Hey, can you put that media someplace that can earn you royalties in all these streaming platforms? Yes. Okay, good. Then you're only one Shazam away from getting somebody to listen to your music. Now, what's my next stage? Because I'm a rapper. I'm an MC as well as a producer. So when I'm talking about albums, I'm talking about complete albums. So if I have my complete album I got to get out, then how am I going to push it? Well, do I try to push it on YouTube that's already oversaturated, or Instagram that's already oversaturated, or TikTok that's already oversaturated? Or can I put it inside a video game that may not even have any rappers in the game, that are actual physical, I'm still making music right now and can put it out tomorrow type beat? So you got to think that you have more exposure in a place where your enemy isn't. And there's a bunch of games coming out. So I can tell, the reason why I'm telling y'all all this, because I can, like, y'all may not go in the same games I'm do. And even if you do go in the same games I do, so what? What if they have 1 million people that are coming into that game, and then it's only like 5 of us really grinding in there? You don't think there's a plentiful room for us to grow? Hell, and then we could network together any damn way. So my thing is, this is why I'm building Toxic Hustle, is that this is a network opportunity. I'm just trying to build a database to be able to create the network effect in such a way that Toxic Hustle can make consistent earnings, and then I can begin to branch it out to others. Same software that makes Toxic Hustle be a media company could be the same damn shit that makes everybody a media company. Because what is media? Your written word, your audible word, what you hear, and what you see, the visual. MP4s and MP3s and text files type beats. That's it. All of this is just a mixture of that. Look at TV again. Put it on mute. You missed the audio. Turn off the TV, turn off the visuals, and you just got sound. Right? If you turn off the sound, you just got pictures and text. So that's all we have when you're on Facebook. That's all we have when you're on Instagram. That's all that you have when you're on LinkedIn. They're just different channels of communication, and it's how you deal with that channel. Sorry, y'all. That is thankfully my mouse. So give me a second. Let me move this thing so I can stop making all that damn noise. So that's really all I want to give y'all today, right? What I want to give you today is just think about what your digital assets can be in these multiple games and multiple assets you potentially will have access to, these multiple companies. Start looking for the right companies. Like, don't just jump like Dogecoin. All right, that's interesting. Is that a play this year, next year? I don't know. Do they have NFTs now? Do they have games launching on their platform tomorrow, next week? No. Then why do I want to buy that right now? Can I get on a platform that has something that's doing that right now? Yes. Can you do that right now? Yes. Then make it happen. I'm gonna be out. Y'all be safe out on these streets, and I'm gonna holler at you at another time. Most likely I'll try to do something this weekend, but we'll see.